Hello, welcome to Country Stitchers. I'm Liz.
Hi, I'm Deb.
Wow. If you're new to Country Stitchers, we generally get together to embrace our joy of needlework. And if you are returning, thank you very much for joining us again. And I want to say a quick hi. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, there have been a lot of people who have visited at the shop to say hi to us. This will be a little romper room moment here. Eileen came in, Peggy, Vicky, Wendy, Nancy, and June. They were all together, Vicky through June. They came in, and Kelly and Deb and Steve and Cliff and Deb, they're a couple. And then we had, let's see, Lynn, she stopped in. So anyway, and if I forgot to mention you, and Deb was in, I did mention her.
Not me.
No, not you. We have got to get over there together one of these days. We haven't done it in a while.
Why don't we stop by Thursday? Because remember we have that running around to do?
Oh, yeah.
And McKenna got me a gift certificate, so
yes.
Here I come, Pat.
Her hard work over the last year paid off. So, anyway, thank you to everybody who stops in to say hello. Yeah. That's a lot of fun. And we're going to focus today on the wedding bells that have been ringing since last September.
Right? Yeah, started last September.
So it's been a long journey, but absolutely beautiful ending and start to the journey. So we'll look at that today as our focus. But before we get too far into the video, I want to take care of Stashbox. So we had a lot of interest in last week's Stashbox, our last videos. And the person who's going to be receiving that is Pat Brown.
Congratulations.
So if you will send your name and address to me, our emails are in the description box. And our next video, I will show the next stash box, which is going to be focused on gadgets and patterns. Ooh. So it should be a fun one too.
Nice. And we'll do some more giveaways later.
Yes, we will.
Yes. And
we want to just touch base on 2 things that are coming up related to Country Stitchers. The first one is we're just delighted with our subscribers and our viewers, and we're excited about coming up to another milestone, which is close to 20,000. And so we wanted to have some fun with you on the 20,000, and we thought about this for a while. We actually planned this over lunch out one day. We're going to play a game of 20 questions, and you get to submit questions to be chosen for that group of 20. So what we're going to do is between now and when we do our 20,000 subscriber video, you can think about a question you want to ask us. Be respectful.
Ask her anything. Anything you want.
Fortunately, we get to read these prior to you knowing which ones we're reading. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at those questions, select the top 20 questions that we think from our perspective that other viewers would like to know the answers to. And then on our video, we're going to select 10 people from those 20 questions who will receive gifts. So we'll be giving away 10 prizes.
But we will answer all 20 questions.
Yes, we will.
On video.
And so it'll be a big chunk of that video.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun video.
Yeah, so don't submit them yet. Just start thinking.
No, we will let you know when.
And we'll let you know.
When we do that. And the prizes we're going to give away, we're going to do things like 20 by 20 pieces of fabric.
Oh, you are telling.
Just little. No.
I swear we just went over this. I said they should be surprises.
We're going to surprise you. Okay. Well, you have a teaser there, okay? So I shouldn't have written it all down. That's my problem. So we will do that. And then the other item, I'm going to move right along before I get in trouble anymore, is our day treat. We've selected a date, and it's going to be August 7th of this year. So many things got pushed out a year. So yes, this August 7th. And it's going to be at the barn across from Stitches Unlimited. And we'll give you more details about it, but just keep that date in mind. We wanted you to do a save the date if you have the opportunity to join us. We're going to have room for 35 people. And we will give you the registration. We believe will be on the 7th of July. So tuck that date away too. And we'll give you more details on our next video about that event.
Yep.
So we're excited about that. We've had a lot of interest in a get together, and we will, even though it's limited to 35, we're hoping we'll do more of these now that things have opened up. So if you don't make the first 35, we'll have a wait list, and then we'll also have hopefully some more events down the road.
Okay.
So let's
Right.
see. We talked on our last video about a gift that Gwen brought to us at the shop.
Yeah.
And
we
we
did,
didn't
yes.
have them both available.
Yes.
So we wanted to show those quick. They were made by her and they are just
So cute.
beautiful. She stitched them and then she put these lovely needle books together and they have pockets in them.
Yep.
And she put in
a couple
needle
goodies.
threader
Yeah.
and needle, I think just
Very cool idea
Yes.
to do for little patterns.
Yes.
You know, I mean, ornaments are great, but
Very cute.
it's also really cool to come up with another idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's sweet. Thank you.
Yes.
Very sweet. So, do I look rested?
You look much better than you did about 2 weeks
Woo,
ago.
man. Finally, I'm sleeping through the night, which is awesome. But I wanted to kind of I've gotten so many questions on Instagram. I did get to post a few pictures. If you have Instagram or would like to follow and see some pictures, I'm countrycabin.farms. And
That's
We
in the
don't-
description box too.
Yeah.
We keep her Instagram address.
we do not have all of the pictures back from the videographer or from the photographer, and that won't be for a couple weeks. But we did get a few teasers and a couple of the other pictures that other people have taken. So I posted some and got lots of questions. So I thought I'd answer them real quick. It was Saturday. We had a gorgeous day. However, the day before was monsoon rain all day. I mean, it didn't stop. It was awful. And this is an outdoor wedding. So as you can imagine, it was like a high stress time. Although McKenna, I mean, she was as cool as could be. She was like, hey, you know, the one thing we couldn't predict this whole time or take care of or change is weather. So I never even looked at the weather the entire time for her wedding date. Never. I had friends around or people that would call me and say, oh my gosh, Deb, did you see? I said, no. And don't tell me. Don't. I don't want to know. Okay. All right. So never once did I ever even look. And the wedding day was gorgeous, but that meant that there were things that needed to be done Friday that didn't get done till Saturday. So it was, I mean, it got done, you know,
Can
but
I add a bit of color to this just on the rain issue?
well, okay, hold on 1 second. So Friday, because Thursday all set up, you know, Thursday was great. Friday morning, torrential rains. We're in our muck boots. We're, you know, just trying to get things done. The tent is leaking. So we're trying to get the table set, not working out that great. Where the arbor was, where the chairs were going to be for the people, flooded, completely flooded. We couldn't even get out there to do anything. Our rehearsal Friday night, we all wore muck boots and, you know, just, we couldn't practice certain things. We couldn't get certain things done. However, I have the best husband ever and friends. I mean, it took a village to get this wedding up and going. It really did. And thank the Lord for everyone who pitched in, who helped, who did all kinds of stuff. Because by the time McKenna and I were at the salon and we were getting hair done that morning, people are sending us pictures like, you can't believe how it dried out. You can't believe how it looks now. You know, where the arbor is, it's perfectly fine. Luckily for us, our weather had been dry. So even with all of that rain that we had, it soaked up very quickly when it did finally stop raining, which felt like it was never going to stop raining. So it did all come together, you know. But
Beautifully.
It did. It really did. So did you want to say anything?
I was just going to say, when she said monsoon rain and muck boots, I'll give you another view of that rain. We have a field that we walk the pond road to the pond, Ivan and I daily, and I do it in the rain too, and I have wellies, and so we walk. But the force of the rain and the amount of water coming down on Thursday and then mostly Friday was so torrential that they had just built this gully with a big PVC pipe that takes the overflow from the top of the fields down towards the pond. The water came out of that, and it's about an 8-inch pipe, so hard that it moved rocks this big up out of the big gully where they had been placed to absorb the water.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just...
Yeah. I mean, it was really awful.
It was torrential.
And they kept calling for rain on Thursday. It didn't rain. It was fine. And then they had like a flash flood warning up until Thursday at like midnight. Nothing. So I went to bed thinking, we're golden. Wrong. But it was, I mean, even with that, you know, I told McKenna, I said, these are the stories, you know, that you have to tell later, because they were going to get married no matter what. Yep. We did not have a backup, you know, so if it came to it, like if that weather would have happened Saturday, would not have been good. But we would have just, they would have got married in the middle of the tent. And if everybody had to sit at their seat at their table, well, that's what we would have did. But it was a beautiful day. And it was nice and relaxing. We went to the salon, did everyone's hair. Yes, I did McKenna's hair. She wanted it mostly down because she has gorgeous, gorgeous natural hair. And so you really don't have to do much to it for her to be beautiful. All the girls were there. Everybody was just, it was so much fun. And then we all were able to get dressed at the farmhouse there. No, this was not our home. This was the farm where her now husband, where he works. It's a big, huge dairy farm. In fact, if you are familiar with Hershey Kisses, the milk from this dairy farm makes the Hershey Kisses. So it's a big dairy farm, beautiful area where we were able to hold this wedding, private, you know, family farm. So
now, is that family related to Connor at all?
Nope.
No, okay.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I wasn't sure. I thought at one point he had a relative who did farming.
Oh, he has plenty.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But this wasn't a family farm.
No, this is where he works.
Okay.
Yep, this is where he works. So the night, we also, if you saw on my Instagram, the groomsmen all came in a very unique way. Since Connor's a farmer and most all of his groomsmen, everyone farms in some way or another, they all wanted to come in, and it was one of Connor's visions that he wanted to come in on a tractor, wanted all the guys to come in riding an antique tractor. So all the guys got their tractors and polished them up, washed them. They were all looking good, and they all rode into the song "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy,"
which I had never heard before.
You
I
did it?
could not stop
Oh my
laughing.
God.
I thought it was great.
It was so them, and it sounds like it would be corny. It wasn't. It was awesome, and that was one thing we couldn't practice the night before because it was so wet. You just couldn't. Well, and Logan was riding. Our antique tractor is Logan's great grandfather's, Massey Ferguson, and that was the oldest tractor in the lineup.
Okay.
And Logan rode that in. But the guys look so cool, you know, in their like wedding attire and their shades on. I mean, if you get a chance to watch the video, it's really cool. Also, our minister that was performing the ceremony, he is legally blind. He doesn't even drive a car. But when he heard about the way that the guys were going to be coming in on tractors, he was all for it. He wanted to drive one. So Connor's like, sure, we'll get you a tractor. So 2 minutes before they were ready to start up the engines and ride these tractors, he learned how to drive a tractor. So it was just so cool.
It was.
It was so cool. And then, so people were asking, okay, well, if Connor came in that way, how did the bride come in? There was a tent behind where everyone was seated, and we were hiding around that corner. And of course, she walked in with her dad. And, you know, no fanfare or anything like that. It was just simple. She did go barefoot. Yes, she did. She didn't have shoes on at all day. That was another thing she always wanted to do. The food was great. Just everything was wonderful.
It was.
I also got a question. Usually something goes wrong at a wedding. What's one thing that went wrong at this wedding? There were two things. One was completely my fault because I overlooked it. I thought I did it all, right? Took care of it all. No, there's always something. It's an outdoor wedding, and where the table was for the unity candle, you know, and all that stuff, it didn't even occur to me about there being a breeze. Didn't even occur to me. I should have gotten those hurricane glasses to put, you know, around the candles, and I didn't. Didn't even think about it. So of course the flames would not stay lit, but it was fine. I mean, if that's a minor matter, if that's the most that went wrong, and
because nobody could see it anyway. I mean, it was on the back side of the arbor.
I could see it. I was sitting in the front row going, oh my gosh.
Not from where we were. No, we were behind you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you were like in the same side as us, but right behind me. Another question was, Deb, did you cry? Yes, many times. And the one thing, like while we're sitting there during the ceremony, I had to sing the song A, B, C, D, E, F, G in my head because my brother is right behind me and he's just crying. And all I hear is my brother crying. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Lord, I'm good. I can't do this. I can't listen to Brian cry. So I'm like actually singing the ABC song in my head.
Oh, was he crying through the vows?
Oh, yes. I mean, as soon as
I saw his shoulders, but I couldn't hear him from where I was seated.
Well, and the sweetest thing was when the wedding was finally over and finished, and the wedding party walked down the aisle, I turned around to Brian, and he looked right at me, and that's all. I mean, we hugged, and then he was just sobbing, and so was I. But I knew what he was thinking. It was, you know, we lost our parents, and when you're sitting there, Brian wanted nothing more than Pop-Up to be there for McKenna, because she was Pop-Up's girl, and I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, I wish my mom and dad were here. Anyway, I'll start again, but it was just, that was a very wonderful moment. I'm so glad he was right.
It was beautiful. I was sitting right
me.
behind you. It was beautiful. I knew exactly what was on your minds, too. I mean, that was...
Yeah.
Through the whole thing, I kept thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But, anyway. But for those who were there, it was just beautiful. And the pastor, his message, I mean, was just spot on. I mean, he just was so encouraging to them as a couple.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
You could tell that they had grown to know each other through the process of getting ready for the wedding, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
I should have brought my wedding box.
The other
Kleenex
thing,
along.
oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
I didn't.
The other thing that I wouldn't really say went wrong, it was just an accident. Dinner was finished. And I was kind of going around talking to people. I think it was actually at your table speaking with you guys at that moment when someone came to get me because they were going to do the special dances, the father-daughter dance and mother-son dance and McKenna and Connor dancing. So we headed up to the dance floor, and Logan and I were walking with each other, and we got up to where the dancing was, and we were standing right next to each other. And she had just got finished dancing with Connor and then dancing with her dad. And Logan was teary-eyed with that when he saw Matt and McKenna dancing, but Logan was right next to me, and as soon as she was finished with her dances, she came right over and she wanted to hug her brother again. And when Logan went to put his arms like that up like that, I was holding a glass of red wine, and it went boom down the front of my dress, the whole thing of red wine. Oh my gosh, he was like, "I'm so sorry." It's like, hey, you know what? This was the perfect time for this to happen because pictures are over. The major things are over. I mean, I still had to, no, everything was over except for just dancing and having fun, you know? So I'm like, if it's going to happen, I am so glad it happened now. And I'm glad it didn't happen to McKenna's dress.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent the rest of the evening having, you know, red wine down the front of my dress, but it's okay. It's all right. But it was just awesome. McKenna and Logan also had that kind of a connection that I remember having with my brother that day. Like every time we looked at each other, you just felt what the other was feeling because you knew that from now on, you know, it's changing. Yep. And it's so hard. But you're looking forward to it at the same time, but it's just so hard.
I thought,
you know, and they had so many moments like that during the day that I will always remember. Brian and I had those same moments, and McKenna and Logan are extremely close.
Yeah, they are.
So that was really special.
They're as close as most boy-girl twins I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, they really have a very
close relationship.
Yeah.
I thought what he expressed at the shower was just spot on. I mean, he got an opportunity to talk at McKenna's shower, and he mentioned that he was not losing a sister, he was gaining a brother. Yeah. And that he always wanted to know what it was like to have a brother, and now he knew, and it was just really, really nice. Yeah. I don't know if he knew he was going to get asked to talk, but he did a great job.
McKenna asked him if he would give the prayer before dinner. Okay. And that's what he did, was he gave the prayer, and then he spoke about how grateful he was, you know, for Connor joining our family and everything. So, but yeah, she asked him to do that.
It was beautifully done.
Yeah. He's a sentimental guy. Yes, he really is. But you had asked me what the most touching moment of the day was. Mm-hmm. McKenna did a first look with her dad. Her dad never had seen her dress or her at all done up in what she was going to look like as a bride. So the photographer was at the farmhouse, and I just got done helping her get all dressed up. Her veil was on. Everything was perfect. And then they, you know, said for Matt to come over to the farmhouse. So he came, and he was standing on the front walk with his back to the house. And McKenna came out of the house and stood on the front porch. And then when Matt turned around, I think that was the most touching. So that was wonderful. I can't even, oh, sorry. And then,
I thought he did a good job of getting through the procession down the aisle, too.
Oh, he did great then, and then he cried. Yeah. The whole time he was sitting there, he was wiping tears and crying.
There'd be something wrong if he didn't.
Yeah, but also the night before, he did not sleep the night before.
Yeah.
No, he was, I mean, it's just such a, oh, it's just amazing when it all starts coming together and it's so real, you know? Another big, huge question that I've been getting is if you saw the Instagram post, the last picture is a picture of McKenna and Connor jumping off a diving board. So there was a huge, beautiful pond at this area, right?
Man, it was.
And I knew at some point during the night somebody's going to end up in this pond. I thought it would be Logan and Connor, and I didn't know who else.
That's a pretty good bet for those two, wasn't it?
Yeah. So what was it? Like, it was after dinner, and I did hear a splash, and I knew someone had jumped in.
Yes,
then I heard and found out that it was my nephew, Asher. Someone offered him money, and he's like, yeah, okay. So he jumped. He got down to his skibbies.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, and jumped in. He made $85.
Holy cats.
I would have jumped in for $85.
Absolutely, and he even got to take his clothes off first.
I know.
It couldn't get any better than that.
So he jumped in, made his money, got back and dressed and all that stuff. Well, after the night, this was way towards the end of the night. You know, the DJ's still playing, but there's nothing left to do but just dancing and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, we're on the dance floor, but we start hearing all this cheering and all this commotion going on. All the groomsmen decided to jump in, just one after another off the diving board. They're all jumping in, having fun. Well, McKenna comes over and she's like, Mom, I almost want to jump in. I said, do it. She's like, but my dress, I don't want to ruin my dress. I'm like, this is a pond that has no fish. It has a stone bottom. It's like crystal clear water. It's like a pool.
It is.
It's beautiful.
Like a natural pool.
So I said to her, I don't think it's going to ruin your dress. I'm like, if you're going to regret this, do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
She's like, I kind of want to. I'm like, do it. It's okay. I'm going to do it. So her and Connor then climbed up on the diving board. And sure enough, yes, she did jump in with her gown on.
To me, that moment, you sent me the video clip, because Rick and I had left prior to this happening. And I'm watching the video clip for the first time. And Connor's kind of just lightly bouncing on the board. And McKenna's going, don't you push me in.
She did say that. She turned around to him and said, please don't push me.
And then you heard people cheering Connor on and cheering McKenna on from the audience and the dance floor. And all I could think of was that reminded me of their cake moment. Do you know when you get ready to exchange a bite of cake?
Oh, yes, and everybody wants you to shove it. You know,
and you're wondering, what are these two made of, right? What's the relationship like? And that said everything to me.
Yeah.
When he held her hand and he was patient and he let her, and it was like, yes, that's a good man right there.
And we finally counted it down, and we were like, 5, 4, 3, and then they jumped in.
I don't know how long it would have gone on if you hadn't started to count down.
I know, because she was like second guessing up there. When she was up there, she's like, I don't know. And I did say to Connor, because the lifeguard in me came out, I went over there to the landing of the dock because I thought when she jumps in with that gown on, number one, it's going to go like this. And then it's going to be heavy. Yeah. So I said to Connor, you bring her up. He's like, I will. She did say afterwards, she's like, that took a lot of energy to get back over to the dock. Much more than I thought.
And I thought about that too. That where they have that board, it must get really deep right there.
12 foot deep right there.
Okay, because with that height on that board, I thought it
was high.
They're letting them dive and jump
there.
I
Yeah.
thought it has to be. Which meant she wasn't going to get a push off with her feet either without that weight in her dress, right? Because I mean,
they did kind of, bounce
did they get as far to the bottom? Okay.
It was.
But
it
you
is
know
12
how
foot.
if you're in something, you can touch the bottom and your clothes are heavy.
Push off there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Then you can get back to where you want to be. But it was. There was no bottom there.
It was deep. Yeah. So yes, she went in with her clothes, her dress on. Also, another question is if you saw one of the pictures. There's an old truck that you saw, and I had a lot of questions about the truck. Our friends had it, and McKenna had asked ahead of time, could we borrow that truck for the wedding day? Because what we wanted to do is stage the gifts in the back of it. I had an old quilt, like a beautiful quilt put back there, and had an old child's chair that was actually McKenna's grandmother's chair. I don't know if it was her mother's, I'm not sure, but it was a little youth chair that I put back there, and we put the box on it of the cards and the gifts. All the gifts went in the back of the truck. We had lanterns that Matt made and a fern, and it just looks so cool and so pretty. And our friends surprised the bride and groom by also on the doors, on the driver's side door and the passenger door, they put a decal that said McKenna and Connor and their wedding date.
It was gorgeous.
And it was a 1940 something power wagon. It was just awesome. It was so cool.
It was.
So that explains the truck. It was so much fun. Matt put in so much work with building the arbor, the tables, the cocktail hour where the charcuterie, is that how you say it? Board was all, that was amazing.
It was. Rick, I sent Rick
everything.
over to that. Right, we got there and we sat down. Were you impressed? Well, you wouldn't have noticed, but I was actually early.
You were?
I was early enough to get there, sit down, have some hors d'oeuvres, visit with people, and then make my way over to sit down. They weren't supposed to have the hors d'oeuvres out until after. Well, maybe they weren't eating, but we were all in that area.
Oh.
Like, let me think a minute.
Because we were supposed to have people there because we had talked about this. Nothing was supposed to be open. Jovi was setting up. And,
That's right. When we walked
you were supposed to walk right by it.
We did. We walked up.
In front of the tent.
There were people around. There were a lot of people standing in the entrance to the tent, too.
Yeah.
And we walked alongside the tent.
Yeah.
It was after when we went back and sat down then.
Yes.
Then Rick was sitting there and I said, would you go get like something we haven't tried before and bring it back for us to nibble on? And he goes, okay. Well, he comes back with your basic cheddar cheese, crackers. And I'm looking at the board from where I'm sitting and I'm going, oh my gosh, there's Edam cheese. There's like every kind of cheese you can imagine.
Did you have the brie? There was brie.
No,
and then on the brie, you put honey and then fig jam. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
He didn't invite that.
Oh my gosh. And then did you have those chocolates with the sea salt?
Yes.
And the caramel?
That I had. Those
so
were
good.
Out of
I
this
wanted
world.
to stay up there. I only got up there and got that one thing, a piece of cheese and a piece of chocolate. And then like, Deb, you need it in the tent. I'm like, oh God. Seriously?
See, I think Rick thought I needed to like watch calories or something because he brought me back a plate with like 3 things and a couple grapes. And so I made quick work of that. I did finally say, could you find some cheese? Different cheese than what's in our drawer because there's lots of cheese up there.
Yeah.
He brought some pepper jack. That was really good.
Yeah.
It had, I think it even had some jalapenos in it. And I'm not a big spicy person, but it was really good.
I was like, whoa, Liz is smoking.
It was hot. But it was delicious. It was wonderful.
Also another question is, Deb, have you slept? Yes, but that night, no. You play the day. You're so hyped up. And I didn't sleep at all that night because you just are reliving the day.
It's like a movie reel.
It is. And then the next day was cleanup. Because like I said, this was not at a venue. So it was all on us. You know, I was wedding planner and mother of the bride. And everything had to be taken care of and thought of and everything. So the next day was cleanup. Because I had taken so much stuff from my house over there, you know, for like what the drinks were going to be in. And like our tables and our barrels and our, decorations, and we did all the flowers for like decorating and just everything. It was a lot of work that had to be cleaned up the next day. So that took all day Sunday. I mean, all day. And a little bit then on Monday, Matt took off work and we did a few errands. I got her dressed to the cleaner and Matt's suit and dropped off some more coolers that we had borrowed from people and just got some odds and ends done. Yeah. But then finally Monday night, I fell asleep and I didn't wake up until 6 a.m. Couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I don't remember the last time that happened. That was awesome. So finally.
Yeah.
Yes. And they went, another question is, where are they for their honeymoon? They went to a place called Indian Rocks Beach in Florida. They have not been having the most fantastic honeymoon, only because it's red tide. And so if you are familiar with that, it's an algae that grows in the ocean. You never know when it's going to happen. Well, it's happening this week. And it can cause a lot of respiratory problems and things when you're on the beach. Doesn't smell good, lots of dead fish. So they're also very sick, both of them. And then they got a speeding ticket.
In sickness and in wealth,
oh
right?
My gosh. They're going to have a do-over. Oh my word. And you got to laugh because I mean, I kept telling her, and they do have a good outlook. They're not like, you know, awful, like crying, and this is awful. They are able to laugh at it, I think. But they even had this tiki cruise yesterday that was given to them as a gift from someone else who used to live in that area. 10 minutes into the tiki cruise, they have to turn around the tiki cruise and come back because that's how bad the weather is getting out there. That's it. No tiki cruise.
The surf was that bad.
The weather that was coming in. No, the weather that was coming in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was it. They was like, well, we'll refund, but...
So they couldn't take it?
No.
How long was that cruise going to be? Wasn't it like an event, like a couple hours or something?
I don't know, hour at least or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, she was happy because they saw a dolphin
Yeah.
out there and stuff. But, it's like, oh, McKenna, every time she calls, it's like, what happened now?
Oh, I remember our honeymoon. We went, Mom and Dad gave us a week at their timeshare in Williamsburg. So we went down at Christmas. So we were, I had never taken a
Williamsburg
vacation as a single mom, hadn't had a vacation in decades, right? So this is not just honeymoon, but the first time I'm actually out to play for a while. So I'm looking at events and places in the area. Same thing happened to us. Everything we thought we were going to get to go do, closed for the season. Closed for the season. I thought, pfft. So fortunately, we had a condo, so we had a grill and we had a video. We had a great time, but it wasn't what we had planned we were going to do.
Yeah. We told them, we're like, well, we'll have to have a do-over, and anyway,
I'll bet they get to Florida again, right?
Oh, yeah. She really likes that area. I told her, I was there in April, and I said, you're going to love it there, and she does. Yeah, so she wants to go back, and oh my. But now we're moving on. Now we're back to...
Did we wrap up the questions you got?
I think most of them, yes.
Okay.
If you have any more, let me know. But I think that was most of them from Instagram.
I have a few.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get back to them after we do want to shift a couple things. All right.
Yep.
Subscriber tribute.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give away some stuff.
Yeah, and this is how long it's been since we did a video. I forgot to set the alarm.
Yeah, I noticed she didn't set it, so that's why I brought it up. Ding, 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 ding.
Pretend you heard it. Oh, that's what that means.
That was the bell, yes.
Okay. All right. So we want to say thank you to 2 specific subscribers today, but thank you to every one of you that hits that subscribe button and watches and comments, and they're just such a blessing to us. Thank you. So today we want to say a huge thank you to Jackie Dugan. You'll be getting a Little House Needleworks pattern needlework shop, which, if you remember, I put that in my lineup of phase 2, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. And a pattern from the Drawn Thread, and it's a spring sampler. So it's almost summer.
It's a nice band sampler.
Yeah, it is a very nice band sampler. So, Jackie, if you can get a hold of me, as Liz says, our info, my email address is also listed in our description box. And Linda Phelan, Phelan. Linda, you'll be getting a Little House Needleworks pattern called Spot of Coffee, which is cute if you're a coffee drinker. And a really pretty sampler, Victorian band sampler. Very cool. And again, looks springy and summery. All right. So, Linda and Jackie, get a hold of me and get those out to you.
Thank you. Do you want to move on through our other ones too?
Oh, yeah. I want to do that. Okay, sure. So from our last video, we had a bunch of keywords that, like Liz and I were talking about earlier, we love to listen to what you guys say in the description box when we want you to say a certain word.
I had a big laugh through the ones on this week. It was fun.
Yeah. So one of the keywords was Christmas, and that goes to Sandra Hattoy, Hattoy. I hope I'm saying that right. So you'll be getting the Christmas package, and in there is also breadcloth. Is that what you called that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's Sandra. And then the music goes to Joanne McNiven. And you'll be getting the music bundle. And there's also breadcloth in there. And the other...
A lot of musical people in the comments.
Yes.
A lot of people who have musical interests.
Yes. The other keyword was primitive, and that goes to Nicole Patterson. And you'll be getting the primitive pattern along with breadcloth. We also have 3 of the books that we were giving away, and the keyword for that was spring. So that A book goes to Miss Gina, Mary, I'm not sure how to say your last name, Avaux. So you can take a guess if you want to, but I spelled it for you. And then number 3 is Ozark Mountain Stitcher. So if you can get a hold of me, and then you will get one of these awesome Molly Makes books. So congratulations.
Yes, and thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right.
All right, so I have another
What's up?
question for
Oh,
you.
yeah?
Yeah. At what point did you hit that wall where you said, okay, I'm done, I'm getting a wedding planner? You had to have had a moment like that.
I had many moments like that. It's a lot when
But
you're
not a really like poignant one where you
Well-
were just ready to throw your hands up.
I had to keep telling myself that I knew once we got on the back side of it. I mean, I love planning and I love organizing, but this was huge. And we had 191 or 93 people actually show up. And I thought there was going to be 175. They tell you to overbook and that 20% aren't going to come. Wrong. So we actually had to get extra chairs, had to figure out new seating. I just couldn't believe it. So, and like I said, everything, and I'm also someone who likes to save money. And so we wanted to make sure that we stayed on budget, which I did. I don't think many people get to say that with planning a wedding. I was really happy with myself that I stayed on budget, but it was just exhausting with every little detail when it's left up to you to come up with, to think of, to take care of. And I hit that many times.
Okay.
But I just had to keep telling myself that this is a blessing that I can even do this for my daughter. So, and McKenna was a huge help. And
she
the
was busy.
perfect
My gosh, she was busy too.
bride to you know, I mean, her and I were like, you know, taking care of it. And it was great. I'm glad we got to do that together, you know.
I saw her Thursday. I stopped by here. I wanted to see you and get a hug around your neck before Saturday, but I because we hadn't connected since the previous week.
Oh, yeah.
And you were still over there
Yep.
on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught her and Marissa here at the house.
Yep.
And I was really surprised at how relaxed she was.
Oh, the whole time.
Mean, she didn't seem at all anxious.
No, she
still had her McKenna smile on, and she's happy. And
oh, yeah.
and
yeah.
Marissa was just as equally happy as. And I
Yeah.
thought, wow, good. Well, they're having a good time. Wet, that's good.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to have a good time when they're wet.
Yeah, she was good the whole time. I mean, just calm, cool, collected, and everybody kept saying, well, are you nervous to get married? She goes, I'm not nervous to get married. She goes, I'm nervous that everyone's going to be looking at me. That made her nervous, that walk down the aisle where every eye is on her.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I don't want everybody staring at me. I said, okay, do you want me to announce? No one look at the bride.
The focus today is the groom and the father.
Oh, but yeah, it was great. So.
Do you want another question?
Okay.
All right. What moment during this process from when you started planning till the wedding was your longest laugh?
Laugh.
Yeah. Did you guys have any of those moments where you just had this huge belly laugh over something you either didn't expect or it went funny or somebody did something you didn't expect?
I don't know. I mean, we had fun. We had a lot of fun, but I can't think of anything that like stands out that was that funny.
Okay.
I don't think so. I can't think of anything.
Okay.
No. Other than when they jumped in. When
I
they
was
finally
thinking
jumped
maybe
in,
that
because
was
that
it.
was just like, I never expected McKenna to end up in the pond.
Yeah.
The boys, yes. Not McKenna.
Now, did she come out with any tadpoles attached to her dress?
Nope, nothing.
The tadpole population of this pond was higher than anything I had ever seen. If you looked at the water, there was maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch between that tadpole and the next one, all the way around.
You know what would have been funny?
Everywhere.
As if when she finally came up, if she had a frog on her
Well,
head.
yes,
That would have
I
been
was
hilarious.
thinking
That would have been
something
so
had to
funny.
be on her.
Oh my
Yeah, that
gosh.
would have been great.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been.
Oh.
Well, who was it who had... Was it you that was so bothered by the big frog down by the pool, or was it McKenna? Remember that big, huge toad that was down in the corner?
Oh, we have him in the pond down there. Yeah. Well, he just scares me when he decides to move and
Well,
jump.
did he jump on your shoulder? Whose shoulder?
Oh, no. Oh, I know what you mean. One time we had him in the skimmer.
Oh, okay.
And, okay, so we didn't know he was in the skimmer. And there's a seat in the pool right next to the skimmer.
That's right.
She was sitting there, and she didn't realize he came out of the skimmer. Well, he gets on her. Oh, my gosh. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
You said you wished you'd had a video of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he's a big one.
So she wouldn't have cared for that if the frog was on her head.
No, no.
See, I'm a toad person. I think they're
No,
cute,
no,
and I don't mind picking them up.
Nope. Mm-mm.
That's funny.
I'm not a toad person.
I know that.
Oh,
I know.
no.
They find me too. I mean, they congregate around our back door. I like
All
it.
right.
So, should we show them what we've been working on?
Yeah.
We picked one thing. Well, Deb had to go pick something else out too after we talked about it. But I have one thing to share, but you have a couple.
Yeah. So someone else left a comment and said, Deb, you finally have time to stitch. Yes. And Liz and I got together yesterday and actually just had fun hanging out stitching.
We did.
So I got to finish the Serendipity chart, the stitch along, through Fat Quarter Shop, the charity stitch along. And this was so much fun. And here is my finish.
So pretty.
And I do know how I'm going to fully finish it, so that's cool. I like that I already have that figured out. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I love the colors. This is stitched on 36 count ivory fabric flare that also was from Fat Quarter Shop. So
I can't wait to see what you do with it.
that's a finish. Then I
Do you
wanted.
know-
Oh yeah.
Since we started YouTube, I don't get to know what she's doing anymore. Because
Surprise.
she wants to show me here in front of the video.
You do it now too, though.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
It's fun. I love it because you always have the best reactions and you're
I
so
always wanna
fun
just
and you're
send her
always
pictures
just
of it.
happy and like, I like that. That's fun.
Well, I just want
Thank
them
you.
to know
I like
the
that you-
sacrifice I make
Oh.
in order to do these videos. I have to wait with you to see the finishes.
And you and I both love surprises.
Yes, we do.
So I love surprises too. All right, so I did get to start the flea market flowers. This is a stitch along through Fat Quarter Shop in the month of June. And so I know I'll be behind on this one because I just got going on it, but I did start it. I posted this on Instagram with my color changes. So there's 2 pictures. If you want the color changes, just swipe, and on picture 2, you'll get to see what fabric I'm using and also the color changes. I'm doing it in more muted colors, like just not like the pinky ones. I picked more of an orange tone to go on this. And this is stitched on Belfast 32 count prairie grass. All right. I don't have any white paper I brought up, so hopefully you'll be able to see well.
There you go.
Is that okay?
Yeah, just something to keep the light from
Yeah,
behind it.
yeah. Okay, so I started up in the corner, and this is what I have.
That is pretty.
Thank you.
Very pretty.
Yeah, this one's going to be really fun. I love the colors. And I'm stitching it with 1 thread over 2.
And did you have an idea what you're doing with this one too?
When I finish it?
Yeah.
I have an idea, but I don't know if I'll do it or not.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, but anyway, so I am using more orange tones with this one than the pink. So that's fun. I like that prairie grass. That's a pretty color.
It is.
I like that. It's different. Very cool.
I remember when you found that down there.
And then other than that, I worked on my Mary Beale wreath, which is back here. I'll grab that for you. Talk amongst yourself.
Keep it down in the front.
Yeah.
I know you're going to talk about your pillows, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever saw this book you have.
No?
No,
Oh.
I don't think
So
so.
this is what I have finished. I almost have, well, yeah, the entire bottom scene is completely finished. I finished up the grass over here and the church, all backstitched, everything's done. And this little floating blob in the sky is going to be one of these. So that's what that'll turn into, the acorn with the leaves. So all of this is done. And then in the center, if you remember, I wanted to put something like a monogram or whatever. Well, I just chose my E. And I'll show you that actually, that's my thing. I guess I love doing E's because I also have some other stitching to show you where I've done that. And I'll let you know where I got that from.
What's so great about this is anytime I decide to take any of these, Elizabeth, it works so
That's
well.
true.
Yes, I love your E's.
Oh, hey, that's perfect. Awesome. I'll keep doing the E's. All right. And then there's the sunshine that, we talked about in a few earlier videos and because of the stink bug problem. And then I have the alphabet to do up top. And this side right here is also going to be mimicked right here. And then that entire wreath scene is finished.
Dun,
I
dun.
can move on to whatever I want to. So the questions I get on this, people will say, Deb, yours looks completely different from the wreath. That's because down here in this area, I don't know if you can see that or not, they had where you would put like your name down here in this hill, this dirt hill, I guess. I did not do that. I just filled it in. It's not cross stitch in that area. It's just straight stitches, vertical stitches, long and short, just to give it some texture. There was also these little, I guess they're supposed to be shrubs, kind of went around here. I did not put those in. I moved the dog. I changed the ducks because there was supposed to be this massive monster duck in the yard, which I didn't want to do. So I did those over one, and I put 2 ducks in the pond. This is on 40 count. Something. I'll have to look it up. I forgot. I have it written down, but it's 40 count fabric.
Straw flower.
Oh, stop it. Ignore her.
No, that's right, isn't it?
No.
You used to say corn flour.
No, that was for my no, that's for my my sampler. Not this. Anyway, I'll get it. But the sampler I was just working on.
I'm lost.
No. That's for oh, good grief, why can't I
That's
think of
all
it?
right.
That one right there.
Okay. Gilles.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what, see?
Now I remember. Yep.
Hey, point for Deb. All right.
But we haven't figured this one out yet.
Well,
I don't remember what you did this one on. I really
I'll
don't.
get it. I don't know if it's...
Oh gosh, she's filling out her book. I am so far behind in my book, I don't even pick it up now.
Okay, I wrote it down over here. So... Okay, 40 count French vanilla, R&R.
French vanilla.
That's what it is. That's what that is.
Wow.
All right. Problem solved.
Did you buy that done with Salty Yarns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the monogram that I used. When Liz and I first met, that was at the, what retreat was that?
Jamboree with...
No, the first retreat we
Jubilee.
met. Jubilee.
Sorry.
The Jubilee. And we were signed up for certain classes.
Stony Hills, yeah.
I had signed up for a class through, what was her name? It's not on the front. Eileen Bennett. And it was a monogram class. So I have the whole book, the whole alphabet actually is in here, and then I was going to do the E monogram. This is where I like to pick my large monograms from. And so just to show you, I have the same E. When I stitched this pillow, I chose the same E on that one. This was a pattern through a magazine. I don't remember who designed it, but it was just in one of our cross-stitch magazines years and years ago. Then when I did this pillow, this was also from a magazine, I chose another E from the same book and stuck that in the middle. So you'll be getting all these pillows too.
I just need a couch to put them on.
In my will, I bequeath everything to Liz.
Anything with an E.
Yes, that's right. Oh gosh. And that's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work with
it.
everything you've been doing. Good grief. Now, my last few weeks, since Deb's been out of the picture, has been on finishing. So I did not bring those today because we're going to do a big video next time and bring all that stuff to bear.
Yeah.
But I have been working on something seasonal that I picked up when it came to the shop. And I also have the finishing kit. So I'll hopefully have this done before the 4th. But it's Brenda Gervais.
Cool.
Happy Birthday, America. And I changed a few colors in this one. We have the model finish just like that finish at the shop. I'm doing mine a little differently. I'm putting a navy blue border of pom-poms on mine and bringing a little more of the blue out.
Okay.
And then I'm still debating on the base whether I want to paint it red and keep the red or whether I want to go blue on the base too. I'm still not quite sure. But this is my guy so far.
Cute.
And I've changed the blue, the red, and then there is a Grecian gold called for. These are the colors that I'm using. I've changed the Grecian gold they used on the basket, but for my color taste, that was just a lot of this gold. And so I brought in Picnic Basket which is this brown, and I'm using this just for the basket. I'm still using the Grecian gold for the beak and the legs and the other highlights, but I'm using that brown picnic basket for my basket. And then I swapped the color Michael's Navy for Peacoat. It's just a little different shade. You actually see a lot more of the blue.
You're using Peacoat?
No, I swapped Michael's Navy for
Oh,
Peacoat.
gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
this replaces the Peacoat.
I like that one. That's pretty.
And then the other blue that's in it for the lettering, they also had blue suede in there, so I'm still using the blue suede. I may not be using it for exactly the same thing. I think I swapped it on the bunting as well. So
cool.
And
I like your red.
Yep, Schoolhouse Red I'm using in addition to the red rocks. I'm going to keep some of the red rocks for the flowers that are around the bird, but this is going in the bunting and the flag.
Okay.
Along with this blue. I liked that combination for the patriotic part.
Yeah.
So there's a few changes there.
Nice.
And I'm just working away. It's on 36 count. Thank you. And I think I mentioned this is called, it's a cork champagne, and it's cork from Access Commodities. It's 35 or 36, I forget which. I think 35.
Cute.
35 was the count. So
I like it.
that's what I've been working on the last few days. And then there's also, I'm using the DMC colors they called for too, but those were the other 3 swaps.
It was so nice. I also had time to get my craft room back in order because that had been wedding central forever, where it was just a mess. Everything was loaded in there. I mean, it was, you couldn't see the floor. It was awful. And then when you go down there and you're just kind of throwing things like, it goes down there, but I'm not putting it away now.
Yep.
So I think it was Monday, or was it Tuesday? I don't know. I spent the day.
Tuesday, I think.
Was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Just spent the day getting it back to normal because I want to get down there and, start finishing and doing things, but it was not.
You texted me. She was so happy. I can see my floor.
I know. When some of the boxes started leaving, I'm like showing Liz, look, I have carpet. Oh, man.
Okay, I have another wedding question for you.
Oh.
Memorable dance partners.
Oh, my gosh. That would be Griffin.
Griffin.
And
who is he?
He is the son of my friend Becky, who helped so much the last couple days and the whole day of the wedding. She was like the person that people would go to so that I could be left alone. She was just such a blessing. Well, her son, and Griffin is probably like 14, I guess. We danced. We had so much fun. Dance. And then also my brother.
Okay.
Brian and I danced, and that was fun.
Is Brian a dancer?
Oh, yeah, he loves to get out there and dance.
I knew your mom and your dad and you and Brian used to dance at home, but I didn't know if he danced.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we were dancing. It was funny because the DJ was playing, she was playing a lot of current, hip-hop kind of songs, and there wasn't many people dancing. It's like, what is this music? So I went up to her and I said, can you play some 80s dance music? Well, then everybody was on the floor. It was so much fun.
Well, I wasn't sure if McKenna and Connor had requested that for the whole evening, because that was the lineup for at least an hour plus, because we left an hour and a half into the dancing and they were still playing hip hop.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear, because I said to Rick, I said, unless they switch this up, the Eshelmans won't take over that dance floor.
Well, I was dancing no matter what. I'll dance to anything. I don't care. I love to dance, but it was so much fun. And Griffin, he was so cute and so fun. So he was like my little buddy all night. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I would say him and my brother.
All right.
Yep.
Let's see. Did I have another question I wanted to ask you? Nope.
No? Good.
I think that's it.
All right.
We already did what we've been working on, and
we will have pictures. Maybe we already said this, but not because it was really cute how in our last video it was very sweet of you to say how much you'd like the slideshow playing, and that was very cool that Liz was able to do that, and so we would love to do that with wedding pictures, but of course it'll be a few weeks before they all come back from the photographer.
And I think it'd be fun for McKenna and Connor to get through them before we post them.
You think?
Nice. Would you like to see your wedding pictures before the rest of the world sees your wedding picture? So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll put those on a montage and let them play in the background, and everybody can enjoy them.
Yeah, and I'll try to keep posting on Instagram whenever things come through, and it's fun. But if you want to see the tractor video or I think I have her jumping in the pond, but it's on a story, so it's probably going to expire within, sometime today. So I can always
repost.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's just remind everybody that we're going to do the 20 questions game. So be thinking about questions you might want to ask when we get to that point, and we ask for your comments. And then we have the day treat coming up on the 7th of August.
Yep.
Save the date for that.
You can make it. We would love to see you.
Yes. And it'll be so fun. I mean, it's
yeah.
been a long time since we sat with a group of stitchers
I know.
Stitched.
I know. And it is a nice big room. And we'll give you all the details later.
Yes.
Yeah. We just want you to know the date. So if you can make it, start thinking about it.
Yes. And other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today.
Yeah. We'll do a normal video. Normal.
We'll do
this was abnormal.
We'll change our format back to more needlework on our next video. But we wanted to be able to share this event with everybody because there were a lot of questions and a lot of people asking. And thank you too to all the people who stopped into the shop. They left. We had a card left at the shop for them.
Oh, yes, thank you so much.
People were stopping in to ask about how things were going. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very sweet. All right.
As always, share the joy of needlework.
See you
Bye-bye.
soon.